guys, this is Sakshi from BA Political Science Honors, and today I'm going to be discussing about supporting the legislative process. So before I start with the topic, there are things which I want to tell you. First is that I have written my notes in this diary and I have summed them in this tab so that I don't miss out certain things. So if you guys find me looking here and there, so it must be because of them. So now without any further delay, let's start with this topic. So our topic is supporting the legislative process. In this topic we have some subtopics. So let's start with them. First is how a bill become a law, and second is role of standing committee in revising a bill. So I'll start with the basics. So we'll go with the first, that is how a bill become a law. So what according to is a bill? If I tell you in a layman language, a bill is anything which is before law. Like when until and unless the law is properly or officially declared as law, we can call it bill. But this is in a very layman language, and being a student of political science honors, we cannot write this. We are not going to get the marks for this. So if I tell you the proper definition, what a bill is. So a bill is a draft of a proposed law presented to parliament for discussion. So basically it is a bill is a draft of a proposed law, like the law which is going to be proposed. It is still not be proposed and it is presented in a parliament for discussion, for further review, that if this is if this thing gonna be it's suitable to be a law, or if yes, then what are the changes we have to make and everything. So a bill is a draft of a proposed law that is to be presented in a parliament for discussion. It is a clear-cut proper definition of a bill. So now the question arises, where this bill is produced and who are the people that decide this bill will become a law or not. So I'll tell you. So a bill is produced in a parliament. Parliament is the powerhouse of the government, or we can say it is a rule-making body of India. Parliament has two houses, that is, one is Lok Sabha, second is Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha is the lower house of the parliament and Rajya Sabha is the upper house of the parliament. Lok Sabha has 530 members, whereas Rajya Sabha has 250 members. So the people we elect through our voting system, or we can say direct elections, goes into Lok Sabha. So we can call them people representative. Whereas Rajya Sabha, members of Rajya Sabha are people representation, that they are the nominees. Like these are the people that is elected by the representative we have elected through elections. Now these two body helps in making any bill a law. So firstly, if I'll give you a quick summary of how a bill becomes law, it is like that, a bill is announced in Lok Sabha. It is it has its consensus debate and everything goes and then later it is sent to Rajya Sabha for its approval. Then those guys have their own discussions over it, like if it is suitable, what are the changes and everything, and if they find anything which needs to be changed or approved which needs to be changed, so they send it back to the Lok Sabha. It has certain period of time, it has some time limitation and this process. So after the bill, which is approved both by the houses, like both the houses, I mean to say when the bill is discussed in both the houses and approved by both of them, it is sent to the president for its final signature. Then the president sign it, and this is how your bill officially becomes a law. So the journey of a bill from the Lok Sabha to the Rajya Sabha. So the time till the bill is in the hands of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and till it is signed by before it is signed by the president, it is a bill. The very moment the bill is signed by the president, it becomes a law. I think I make it sound very difficult. So when president signs a bill, it became the law. So that was all about how a bill became law. Now we'll go to a further topic, that is role of standing committee in a bill. So there there are three types of committees in parliament. The one is the standing committees, second is the select committees, and the third one is the special committees. So our syllabus limit ourselves us to standing committees, so we're going to discuss about them only. So let's so there are six standing committees. I'm sorry. There are six standing committees. One is standing committee on economic affairs. So the second is standing committees on social affairs. Third is standing committees on natural resources. Fourth is standing committees on public accounts. Fifth is standing committees on foreign affairs and defense. And sixth is standing committees on justice, law, and human rights. So we're going to discuss a little bit of every committee. So let's start with the first one, that is standing committee on economic affairs. So as the name suggests, this is the committee which is includes the matter related to the economic development of the nation, or you can say about taxation, finance, banking. So this committee is basically for the bills, for reviewing the bills which is which includes the matter of finance, include the matter of taxation and banking. Now let's go to the other one, that is the committee on natural resources. So this committee members review a bill which include related to our natural resources, that is your fishery, your water, your forest cuttings, and everything. The bill and everything includes that. Third, we go to standing committee on public accounts, which includes examining the accounts of government in respect of each financial year and reports auditor general for any other material relating to the expenditure of the government or any related body or activity that the community see if they fit into or not. So basically this is the committee which review a bill which is basically a public bill, or is a bill for the government, is for the government. Is for the government or government related to the government activity. This is where this committee works for. Second, your fifth one is standing committee on forest affairs and defense. This committee works on bills, or on reviewing a bill which is related to your agreement between the countries, bilateral, unilateral, their trade relations, and the bills that is that has these aspect of it. Then the last one is standing committee on justice, law, and human rights. This include matters related to crime, civil rights courts and their administration, the constitution, policy, and human rights. So I'll again list the committees. There are six types of committee. One is economic affairs. Second one is on standing committee on natural resources. Third is standing committee on social affairs. Fourth is standing committee on public accounts. Fifth is standing committee on foreign affairs and defense. And the sixth one is standing committee on justice, law, and human rights. Now I'm going to tell you what are the functions of the standing committees. So first I'm going to read out that function to you, and then I'll explain what it is basically. So first is, the standing committee consists of small groups of members for both the government and the opposition. So these so now you will be questioning, where are these committees? These committees are in the parliament only, which is formed which is a small group of people, and these people can be from both the parties, like from the ruling party and the opposition party also. So now let's go to the first function of it, that is examine each bill referred to the committee of parliament and make amendmentation to the bill to the extent agreed by the committee. So as you earlier we have discussed what are the six types of committees. So now the very first function of this committee is to see is to make any amendment that is related to the, first they assign themselves, like if they're talking about any bill which is related to economics, like take example of any bill that is related to your taxation, so it automatically goes to your standing committee on your standing committee on economic affairs. So they review that bill, and they make the changes which they agree upon, or they review it if it is in the favor of people or not, or if there any amendment needed, or if there any issue with it, they deal with that. Second is examine any subordinate legislation tabled in parliament within the category of its affairs. This is what I told you like before, okay, like which is the bill which comes under their work, and then they review it. Third is the government department is responsible the committee each area. So government department has so what government do, they specifically divide the people like this within the committee also. Like if this is a 3 group of people, they're going to talk about what are the issues with this what are the issues, and these 3 group of people are going to talk about how we can overcome it, what can be the amendmentations, what can be the changes. Fifth is review international treaties and convention treaties by the government and monitor their implementation. Now the one of the function of this committee is to also see that this bill has been properly be implemented, and if they are working properly, and if they have to see their monitor their implementation, like how far they have been implemented, or if everyone is doing work according to it, and basically to monitor its implementation. We perform any other functions and duties assigned by the POP. Not these only, like if parliament people assign them any work, they are also accountable to them for those work also. So now we'll talk about how a standing committee carries out its duty. Committee meetings are usually held in committee meeting rooms at Parliament House. So these meetings are held at Parliament House only, until unless these people are on field trip or something which is outside the Parliament. Otherwise it is inside the Parliament, where they discuss all about the bills and everything and review it. Second, the chair of the committee is responsible for proposing meeting arrangements. So whoever is the head of this committee is responsible for its meeting, scheduling its meeting, its tenure, और कितना वो उन्हें काम करना चाहिए, कितने टाइम तक होगा. So everything it is so for this all this work you मतलब उनका टेन्योर कितना होगा, उन कितनी देर तक काम करना है, कहाँ कितनी देर से काम क्या करना है, ये सब कुछ इट इज़ द हेडमैन ऑफ दैट कमिटी विच इज़ रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर दिस ड्यूटीज. Third is the frequency and timings of meeting depends upon a committee's workload. Business may only be transitive. So as I was telling you, basically इनका कुछ टाइम लिमिट होता है काम करने का, और बट कभी कभी जैसे अगर वर्कलोड ज़्यादा हो गया या उनके पास टाइम लिमिट कम है, तो दे कैन चेंज देयर टाइम लिमिट्स, और इट डिपेंड्स अपॉन देयर वर्क शेड्यूल ऑल्सो. वर्कलोड कितना उस हिसाब से अपनी टाइमिंग रखते हैं, और उनके वर्किंग आवर्स भी इस पर डिपेंड करता है. Fifth, this committee hold public hearings to obtain evidence from key witness, which may include key stakeholders and experts on a query subjected matter. अब जैसे मैंने आपको बता दिया कि like again I'm giving you the example of the same thing, that is on economic affairs कोई बिल आया, पास हो गया, तो कुछ टैक्सेशन के ऊपर है कि like 5% इंक्रीज होना चाहिए टैक्स में या नहीं होना चाहिए. तो दे ऑल्सो इंक्लूड पीपल विच आर एक्सपर्ट्स इन दिस एरियाज, लाइक स्टेक होल्डर्स विच आर इन दीज एरिया, सो दैट दे कैन हैव अ ब्रीफ आइडिया, लाइक अगर वो 5% इंक्रीज कर देंगे तो उसका ड्रॉबैक क्या हो सकता है, उसका फ़ायदा क्या होगा, एवरीथिंग. सो दे डू हैव दिस पीपल फ्रॉम दिस एरिया सो दैट दे कैन हैव द क्लियर पिक्चर ऑफ what is going on, like clear picture of that particular I can say कि अगर result क्या होगा, which make them more accountable too. So this committee can also ask for the proper official documents, and if they ask for document, like someone's for document, it is Parliament duty to get them the document. So a committee may take evidence by electronic means such as audio, video links which provide evidence what if required. और इन्हें कुछ evidence चाहिए होते हैं, जैसे अगर इन्हें पता इनको अमेंडमेंटेशन, इनको कोई चेंजेस चाहिए आपके बिल में, और फिर इनको लग रहा है कि प्रॉपरली वर्क नहीं हो रहा है या जो भी है, अगर ये एविडेंस आपका कहीं से भी ले सकते हैं, ये आपका सोशल मीडिया से ले सकते हैं, ये आपका ऑडियो वीडियो किसी भी फॉर्म में ले सकते हैं. A committee must report back to Parliament on a bill referred to committee not later than 30 days after the referral unless. तो इनका भी एक प्रॉपर टाइम होता है कि जैसे अगर पार्लियामेंट ने इनको रिव्यू करने के लिए दे दिया बिल, इनके पास टाइम है, सो विद इन लाइक 30 days दे हैव टू गिव इट बैक टू द पार्लियामेंट, मतलब सो कि वो फिर आगे भी प्रोसीड कर सके, तो इनका भी एक टाइम लिमिट होता है. A committee may report back to Parliament on other matter as soon as it has completed its consideration and deliberation. So I think I hope I make myself clear on standing committee functions. Standing committee function, that was all about it. Like basically I discussed like what are the 6 types of the committees and what are their function. Their main function is to review a bill, what are their duties and responsibility, how they are accountable to Parliament and all. Thank you.